reason is that we are celebrating Casimir Pulaski. That's his name, Casimir Pulaski. And our village is named after him. And as you get older and you find out some more about your geography, you will find that in our country, every state in our country has either a city, a town, village like ours, landmarks, bridges, streets and roads, buildings, counties named after Casimir Pulaski. Now, he was quite a guy. He only lived for 32 years. So he was a pretty young man when he died, but he left his mark not only in our country, but also in Poland, where he was born. He was born 267 years ago today. So that was a long time ago. And he grew up in Poland, and at that time, when he was growing up, Poland was being ruled by Russia. So if you are aware of what's going on in the world today, you know that Russia is still up to its tricks. They're taking over other countries. And they tried to take over Poland, or they did. And they were dictating their lifestyle. And they took away their freedom. And he didn't like it. So he fought back. He organized a group of men, and they were resisting, and they were fighting against Russia. And they caught him, and they exiled him. That word means they sent him out of the country. He couldn't live there anymore. So he kind of wandered around, and he ended up in Paris, France, where he met an American by the name of Benjamin Franklin. And Benjamin Franklin was in Paris. He was recruiting volunteers to come back to the United States, or to America, and fight for our freedom. And does anybody know who we were fighting against?
The British?
That's right, the British. They thought that they owned us, and we didn't think so. So we declared our independence from them, and they didn't like it. So they sent all their British troops over here to take over. So Benjamin Franklin was over trying to get France to join to fight against England or the British. So while he was over there, he met Casimir Pulaski, who was a freedom fighter in Poland. And he was there because he didn't like the fact that England was trying to take over America. So he says, well, I'll fight with you. And that's what he did. And Benjamin Franklin wrote him a letter of recommendation, and it was addressed to George Washington. So they shipped him over to America, and he gave the letter to George Washington, and George Washington interviewed him and found out what he could do, and he says, okay, I've got a place for you. And one of the things that he could do, that he had learned in Poland, is first of all to fight on horseback. So that was the first, what's called a cavalry, soldiers on horses. And